Okay, I don't know if I can do this quickly, but I'll try. First off, I'm not a ham operator, I'm not a radio guy, I'm not an electronics guy. I'm still trying to figure out why I even have this in front of me, along with this thing here. But anyhow, this is an antenna tuner, or I think it's really what it is an antenna matcher, is what they say. Once again, I'm just picking this stuff up on YouTube videos. I have no idea what I'm talking about. This is a CB radio. It's a President McKinley. I bought this for the sideband. Okay, I wanted to use something with the sideband. I'm not a ham operator or any of that stuff, but specifically for whatever reason, I have reasons for it, but I wanted a sideband radio. I have a 102-inch Hustler whip on top of the building, and got it tuned pretty good to this radio. But on many of the channels, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the lower channels, it was all I could do to get it down to about 2.5 SWR. So I wanted to do better than that. And I had a couple of people on YouTube that mentioned you need to get into an antenna tuner and see if that doesn't give you some improvement. So I found this one, bought it on Amazon. There is an older version and a newer version of this here, this ATU 100. This is the newer version. Make of that what you will. They said they worked out the bugs. It looks pretty simple. I'll show you the front. It's got this magic button. Whoops. A magic button here. Reset and tune. I'll explain that in a minute. You get your on and off power. In the back, I think this is for the ladder line type, or maybe you have a homemade DIY type of antenna you're working with. This is your typical coax antenna right here connection, your transmitter, and your power line. It comes with this power line. I'll explain that in a second too. Below here you have this black button with, let's see, A and M. Now I found out on an Amazon picture where they're selling this thing that the A and M means auto or manual, and you just push that button for it there. Now, you might think, well, God, this guy should know more about this tuner that he has. Well, I would love to know more about it. But the biggest con I have with this thing is there's no manual. There's no how-to. There's no do this, don't do that. It comes with nothing. I mean, there wasn't a piece of paper other than it was wrapped in plastic. That was it. So I had no way of operating this other than watching. I had watched other videos of guys that have this that they were all doing it differently. So I really can't tell you how the damn thing works. But I'll tell you this, it does work. Okay, so when I took it out of the box, I hooked it up. I bought the one where it's got the direct connect to a 12-volt battery. I got 12-volt power. I did not want the one with the internal battery, only because I'd heard on videos guys complaining about some issue they have with the battery, noise, or whatever the case was. And I typically want to operate everything out of the truck anyway. So this is without the internal battery, this is 80 bucks. With the battery, it's like 100 bucks. And the one with the battery has the typical, like for your phone, your iPhone connection thing, C class, whatever they call it. It charges just like your phone. But this one, it's direct connect. Anyhow, I took this thing out, hooked it up, turned on the CB, and it just starts tuning. I'll give you an example. Let's go to, let's just go right there. I got this turned way down. Now I'm thinking, okay, what button do I push? It's powered on. You don't do anything. Now, mind you, I did a little research on Google, and I found a web page or a bulletin board where guys spoke about this. You don't have to do anything to this thing. Once it hears something, it starts tuning, okay? So here's the mic. I'm going to key the mic. It's channel 4. Boom, 107, 106, 94%. It's 5 watts, okay? All I did was key the mic. I didn't push the button. I don't know if I'm on auto or manual or the dark side of the moon. Couldn't tell you. Let's go to a different channel here. There's 10. Let's see what happens. Once again, once you key the mic, 1-1, not much to change here. 94%, that's not bad. I'll get the sideband here in a second. We'll show what it does. Yeah, not too bad. Now I can push this. Get my hand out of the way. Just, I'll show what it does here. This is the reset tune. And it says tune. That's kind of where it's just tuning, no big deal. I did that before without pushing the button. Let's press it again. Tune. Reset. Okay. Don't know how I did it, but it's tuning. That's great. Now that's just regular CB right there. You'll notice when I'm doing that, I'll show you something. Look at the power. Let's see what the power is here. 5 watts, 7 watts, okay? Now, on sideband, it's going to be higher power. The reason I showed you that, this isn't supposed to tune anything below. It's the minimum is 5 watts. They say once you get below 5 watts, don't trust this as a tuner. Okay, got it. It says that on Amazon. Other people have said that on YouTube. But the CB is pumping more power than that. Let's get power again. This is channel 17. Okay, 5 watts. It's tuning it. 6 watts. Okay. So in theory, it's not supposed to work on those channels. No, okay, I got more than I bargained for. Only because this is using more power, I guess. Now let's go to single sideband. Oops. Tip that would be, just go to, yeah, right there. Now here's the difference. Whoops, let me turn the volume off. On single sideband, once again, I read this on Google. I won't explain the difference between sideband and let's say the regular channels, other than there's something missing, okay? There's something it's different. When you're on any of the other channels that are on the AM side, okay, not the single sideband side, all you have to do is key the mic, it'll start tuning. It's gonna hear something. I think they call it the driver. It's got the driver involved. Don't ask me to explain that, I have no idea. But on sideband, if I just key the mic, watch this. This is a 36, channel 36 lower sideband. Nothing should happen. Let's see if I'm right. See that? Oh, look what happened. Okay, I showed it to you and it was just zeros. Zeros, zeros, and then I spoke, I made some noise, it picked that up, and it started tuning. Let's try it again. Let's go to a different channel. Nothing happened. Now watch this. I don't whistle very well, but I'll whistle into it so it hears noise. It has to hear something. You have to feed some noise into this mic for this thing to tune on sideband. Okay. At first I didn't know that. I said, hey man, this thing's not working on sideband. I can't get it to tune at all. Once again, not even knowing how to do it. The only thing I knew how to do is turn it on. So if you're in sideband, you need to put some noise into it. Whistle, Dixie, do whatever you do. And then once it hears it, like I'll start to, let's go to 38 sideband. I'll just talk into it. Hello, hello, hello. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, it's picking up some noise and it starts tuning on sideband. On the regular stuff, go to AM. On these, you just got to key the mic. Okay. Now, the pros and cons. The biggest con I have with this thing is there's no manual. I had to go hunt down and find little tips here, there, and whatever. I still don't know how to use the button. I'm just keying the mic and it's tuning. So I'm like, well, the hell with it. I'll just leave the damn button alone. I can turn it on, turn it off. The auto and manual button in the back, clueless. I have no idea what engages that or when it's engaged or which is. Am I in auto or am I in manual? Couldn't tell you. All I know, key the mic, and on the regular CB, it'll tune. If you're on sideband, you got to whistle into it, make some noise, and then it'll tune that as well. It's doing a great job at tuning because I come back and did an external SWR on it. And everything it does is a great job tuning or matching, let's say, that's legitimate, or that's what it's really doing. It really does nothing to your antenna. But like I said, I'm not a radio guy. You have no idea what I'm talking about. Or if you're looking for one of these to purchase and use, yeah, I think it's a success. It's doing well. It's doing its job. I just can't tell you how it's doing it. Now you can buy these. You can buy these as kits, build them. That might be if you're into that sort of thing. Soldering's not my biggest skill, but I'm glad I bought it. I just only wish it had. Geez, give me a page, some notes, tell me what the hell I'm doing. How do I operate this button? How do I operate the one in the back? You know, what does it mean? Other than that, it's tuning. It tuned right out of the box. Once I hooked it up and fired it up, it was tuning. Okay, and then I had to figure out the thing about the sideband. You got to make noise. But yeah, the biggest con is there's no manual. There's no how-to. Now, well, we'll try this next. The advantage this one has, it's the biggest, how this one beats this one, it comes with several pages. Thank God. Now let's hope it's worth a darn. Anyhow, I like this. It's doing a great job. Hopefully maybe you'll find a manual somewhere or whatever. I couldn't find it. Maybe it's on Google somewhere. I'll have to try it again. But this thing works. It tunes, does a good job. And I've had someone with a CB elsewhere listening to me, and they picked it up fine. Everything's groovy. Is it worth the $80? Yeah. I just wish it had a manual to show me how to do this. Anyhow, love you. God bless.